Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. It's been an extremely busy week here with a lot of changes as the channel keeps growing with just over 6,000 subscribers right now, which I think is crazy. I'm making every effort to simplify my workflow and make it easier to communicate more efficiently. Thank you so much for your patience, your support, all your messages, your comments and questions. I'm doing my best to try to respond to everyone as quickly as possible. The Beyerdynamic Fox microphone has been a really interesting solution for me in the past month of testing, and honestly, I've used it far more than I expected to when I first got it. As an audio person, I've never really considered the need for a USB microphone in the past, honestly. I've always had interfaces on hand when I've needed to record something, and maybe I've taken that for granted a little bit. I know a good few professional musicians who gravitated towards USB microphones as soon as they arrived on the scene a few years ago. I suppose I've always looked at USB microphones as just a tool for songwriters, really. Musicians looking to demo something quickly or get an idea down without the hassle of complicated gear. In those situations, a real microphone, but one that doesn't require you to stop the creative process in order to set it up, can be the difference between getting an idea down and losing it forever. So why do I care about them now? Well, obviously I make YouTube videos, so I do lots of voiceovers and things like this where I'm talking to a camera, but I think generally these days we are all taking on more content creator type roles. In work and in our private lives, we communicate more and more through digital media now than ever before. And I think we've all probably at one point or another struggled through a Skype or a FaceTime or WhatsApp chat or even a professional webcast session where somebody's having major issues with the audio on their end and it's making everybody else's life miserable. It can really be a challenge in noisy environments, and just generally trying to figure out what people are saying from a laptop microphone from halfway around the world isn't the easiest thing to do. So let's talk about the specs real quick. It is a large diaphragm back electret condenser microphone. If you're not familiar with modern electret microphone technology, I'll link a fantastic summary below from Neumann. A lot has changed with this technology since it was first popular in the 1970s, and some seriously good modern microphones are made using it today. This one features a cardioid pickup pattern and a reported 20 to 20,000 hertz frequency response, and we can look at the chart included here to see how that actually plays out. Up close at 2 centimeters, you can see a huge, almost 10 dB boost across everything from 200 hertz down. This gives you a bit of that big bottom-heavy broadcast microphone sound. Backing that off to 1 meter, and I'm not going to back away that far right here, but I back off a little bit, and you can see that proximity effect fall off dramatically, and it results in what effectively looks like a 4 dB per octave roll off from about 200 hertz on down. There is no high pass filter built into this microphone. There's no switch to engage one, so distance has to be used to mitigate that unwanted bottom end at the source. Above that, things look fairly consistent in regards to distance from the microphone and frequency response, with a 4 dB boost at 2K up to about 15K, and a huge notch, over 10 dB down, centered around 8.5K. Now, this may seem unusual, but in practice, it lends itself to bring this microphone in line with what I've come to expect anyway from Beyerdynamic microphones over the years. Clarity without a lot of unnecessary sizzle. That's kind of their thing, in my opinion. So this somewhat drastic approach to the 7,000 to 9,000 hertz range doesn't entirely surprise me, as they work to bring a much lower cost microphone into their lineup. But audio specs aside, what really matters with this microphone is usability. After all, we're competing with some of the most atrocious sounding microphones in the world being used for mobile audio these days. So the real question is how easy and practical this is to use in real life. For heavy Skype users, webcast presenters, or those who spend their days perpetually calling in to meetings as you telework from home or from a hotel, will this actually get used? For me, the answer is an overwhelming and surprising yes. My only real complaint is the included stand. Using it in mobile situations, I want to get the mic up off the desk and as close to my mouth as possible to eliminate as much background noise that might be in the area as possible, and the included stand just doesn't really let you do that. I've been using it on this inexpensive Manfrotto. You know, they're under $20 most of the time, and that gets things up high enough to feel natural. I don't feel like I'm hunched over trying to use this. One of these broadcast style microphone arms also makes a great option for use at home or in the office where you can attach it directly to your desk. Now, the 3/8 inch mount is frustrating here in North America, even with the included microphone stand adapter. For mobile use, most of my gear that I own already, like the Manfrotto mini tripods, are 1/4-20, and while adapters are available pretty cheap, I personally would have preferred that they skip the 3/8 and go directly to a 1/4-20 on the microphone itself. I imagine their intended audience for this will have mostly 1/4-20 threaded gear and accessories like I do. Beyond that, though, setting it up could not be any easier. You plug it in using the included USB-C to USB-A cable, and it should be recognized by your device right away. There's no drivers or anything. You just select it in your audio settings, and then if you're using an app like Skype, you go ahead and just select that audio device in the app, test your audio, and you're done. There's no fine gain adjustment on this microphone whatsoever. There's just a simple low and high switch, which you can actually see right there, and I've been using it on high for voice work like this, no problems whatsoever. You've got a mute switch on the front that mutes the microphone pickup, a headphone output that allows you to monitor both the microphone and the audio coming back from your device, a volume knob for that to control the overall headphone volume, and also a blend knob that lets you choose just the right mix of either the microphone or the device audio. So essentially what we've got here is we've got a microphone, an interface to get audio in and out, you've got a mixer to mix the two sources together for your monitoring, and you've got a headphone amp so you can hear what's going on, and all of this without any additional cables or power supplies or anything like that. This is powered over USB, and it makes for a really simple, quick setup. Making it even more practical in real-world use, the Fox microphone is 100% iOS compatible, which is absolutely fantastic for me. I've been using it interchangeably with my MacBook, with my iPad, and right now I'm recording to my iPhone, and it really gives me a lot of flexibility depending on how I'm working, where I'm traveling, and what I'm traveling with. Sometimes I want to do some work quickly and all I've got is my iPad and my iPhone, and that's enough to have one device. Right now I've got one device open with a script and the other one's shooting video and working as my audio recorder. And it's just really nice not to have to break out additional accessories or power supplies or different gear to go between devices. I can have this one microphone either on my desk or in my bag in a small pouch, pull it out, get something done, do a webcast, do a phone call, a Skype or whatever, and have quality monitoring and audio guaranteed for my end. As long as I remember to hit the record button. Again, sorry, Rock from Allo Audio. But yeah, it just really streamlines the process. I don't have to think of different settings or things. Just plug it into the different device and it works. You can check that out in the last 3 or 4 videos on this channel previous to this one. I've been using the microphone for the last month and interchangeably recording audio with it on all these devices for those different videos. So go back and check those out, and also check out my #DongleLife video from last week where we talked specifically about using devices like this with iOS. I'll be sending this one back to Beyerdynamic as I do with all of the demo products I get from them, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be ordering one of these for myself soon to keep. It's more the productivity than anything else. I use all sorts of different ways to record these videos. I have different interfaces, the Mark of the Unicorn Ultralight Mark IV that I'm currently using, but in the past I've been using Dante interfaces and all sorts of other stuff, and I'll continue to do that. But the productivity improvement of having a USB, specifically a USB microphone that can go between all my different devices with just a USB cable, no power supplies, no XLRs, no special adapters to remember, has just been great for the way I work and the kind of work I'm doing right now. So if that's the kind of thing you do, if you travel a lot, or if you go between your office and a home office, or you're on the road and you do things like webcast presentations or Skypes or any sort of content creation like this where you need to have your audio solution be very simple and professional, this is something you should really take a look at. They're not expensive. I'd love to hear what you've had issues with or success with in the past, whether that's something like the Yeti or the Snowball or any of the other USB microphones that are out there. Let us know down in the comments below or in the forum over at DcSoundOp.com. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. I'll see you over on the website soon.